The assignments in Module 13 and 14 are a little different than in previous modules. The assignments here involve completing the 2 required field trips for the course. You can and may have already done some or 1 or 2 of the field trips already, but it's in Module 13 and 14 that you report on those field trips, or if you haven't done them yet, now is your chance. So the course requires to do at least two field trips. You can do more for extra credit. And there are a few ways of completing this field trip requirement. So that's what I'm going to talk about here, is how you can complete this field trip requirement. What are the options? So you can do, the first option is instructor-led field trips. This is where you go with an instructor, me, or in some cases, my colleague who teaches the same online class. And you show up with us and we lead the field trip the whole time. The schedule for these instructor-led field trips, the one that belonged to for this class, one was on March 8th to a mountain, so that happened already. The next one, or the next one on the schedule, is April 20th. That is a Saturday, to Catalina State Park. Note, if you choose to go to that one, that's fine, but there's a $7 entrance fee to get into Catalina State Park, which you'll have to pay. Or you can go on April 26th at 8:30, which is a Friday, to Sweetwater Wetlands, which is on the west side of town. So the advantage of the instructor-led field trips is that there'll be someone there who has a sort of idea in mind in terms of the things that they want to cover and the things that they want you to see. And for my class, for the instructor-led field trips, all you have to do for these is just show up, be there, be present, be interested. There's no write-ups required. There's nothing to do afterwards. It's just your presence and your interest in the trip. And so in that regard, they're a bit easier than the other options. But they are at certain times. You can only do them. The next one, is April 20th or April 26th. If you can't make or don't want to go to any of these instructor-led field trips, you have a couple of more options. You can do a self-guided field trip to any location, any geology relevant location of your choice. There are a number of locations in or around the Tucson area, okay? And so see Module 13 assignment for some suggestions and instructions on how to complete a self-guided field trip to a location of your choice. I'm going to show you a bit of those instructions here shortly. So if you don't want to do or can't do the instructor-led field trips, that's fine. You can do one to a location of your choice, as long as it's geologically relevant, of course. And Module 13 has the instructions for what to do before, what to do during, and what to do after, and what to turn in to the Module 13 assignment folder. You can also do a self-guided field trip to a mountain, also known as Sentinel Peak. This is on the west side of Tucson near downtown. And the instructions here are in the Module 14 assignment. This one is nice because for this class we've developed a tool that you can use on your phone. It's built within an app that will sort of guide you around from place to place on a mountain and sort of tell you where to be, and we provide some pictures of what to look at and the features there. And so it's self-guided, but there's a bit more to it. The app will help you sort of figure out where to go and what to look at while you're there. So let's take a brief look at the instructions for the self-guided field trip to anywhere. That's in Module 13, or the self-guided field trip to a mountain, which is in Module 14. So here we are looking at the Module 13 assignment. It's called Design Your Own Field Trip. This is where you get to go to a location of your choice. And the Module 13 assignment gives you sort of all the material, all the tools you need to complete this field trip. There's an overview of sort of what this is about. There's a little bit lower down, there's a suggestion of some places which would be good to visit. There's a bunch of online resources that you can use because you have to do a little research in advance. And below, not shown here, but in the assignment page, there's also instructions on the write-up that you need to do, what pictures you need to take, and what you need to submit at the end. Now, if you live near Tucson, this should provide a good guide as to where to go and how to do the field trip. If you don't live near Tucson, that's fine. You should just consult with your instructor first with regard to the location of your field trip, just to make sure that it's going to work well for you, that you'll be able to find the resources that you need beforehand to study a little bit, that it's geologically relevant, and that you'll get something useful out of that spot. So before you go, if you're outside of Tucson, consult with your instructor first just to make sure it will work. So this is the Module 13 assignment, designing your own field trip to a location of your choice. You can do one or two of these. If you choose, you can also do a self-guided field trip to a mountain, also known as Sentinel Peak in Tucson. Here, it's self-guided in that you'll be going on your own without an instructor there. However, we have built, my colleague has built what's called a story map, where you'll use your phone or an iPad would work, anything with GPS coordinates and an internet connection, and it will help you guide your experience around a mountain and sort of suggest places where you should look and things that you should look at to understand the whole geologic story there. And so if you're looking to do self-guided field trips for the field trip requirement, I highly recommend that you do this one. It's a great way to explore a mountain, and it provides you some useful guidance as to the most important things to see and the things to think about while you're there. Okay, to review, you need to do 2 field trips. You can do them as instructor-led, see the course calendar for when those are, or you can do them as self-guided. You can do them to anywhere you'd like, as long as it's useful and geologically relevant, and Module 13 instructions explain how to do that. And you can do one to a mountain specifically if you like, and the Module 14 assignment has nice instructions as to how to do that and to what to turn in. However you do that, you need to have completed the 2 field trips by the end of Module 14. You need to have one done by the end of Module 13 and the second one done by the end of Module 14. If you do them all by way of instructor-led field trips, then that's fine. If you wait until Module 13 to do one and Module 14 to do one, also fine. However you choose to do it, it doesn't matter. The write-ups in Module 13 for the first one need to be done by the end of Module 13, and the write-up for the second one needs to be done by the end of Module 14. All right, that is the end of my little spiel on field trips. Please let me know if you have any questions.